we've been set a challenge to buy and modify a track car on a very tight budget.
The rules are simple. £500 for the car, £500 for mods. No overspending and no selling parts.
Now that might sound doable, but £500 barely gets you a running car, let alone something that's quick and can take a beating on track.
So, we'll need to be strategic with our car choice, then rely on scrounging, salvaging and repurposing whatever we can find to get it track ready. If it's free, forgotten or collecting dust in someone's garage, it's fair game.
Now this challenge comes from the guys at Auto Alex. They're building their own £500 track car to take us on in a proper head-to-head battle filmed on their channel.
After trawling through endless listings, we tracked down a hidden gem that ticked all the right boxes, but we needed to win the auction first. And to do that, we immediately started to bend the rules.
A Clio 172's popped up on the salvage auction. What's the actual max? 550?
600.
600. That's a good deal, I like that. Those bloody bastards are going to do it. I knew it!
625.
Final bid. Final bid.
25 quid between mates.
What's 125 quid over budget?
Oh, this might be game over. 675 is... that's doable.
That's allowed. Hold.
Oh no! We have successfully failed the £500 track car challenge.
It's going to be okay. We just need to sell some stuff.
Now you might remember I said this in the intro. No overspending and no selling parts. As we'd already failed the first one though, it would be even worse if we failed the second one too. So to even things back out, we dropped our mod budget from 500 down to 325 to accommodate the overspending on the car.
And a few days later, our structurally damaged, slightly too expensive track car arrived.
£500? Maybe a bit more. 600, nearly £700.
What do you think of our £500?
This is a really nice £1,000 car.
I don't know about £1,000.
After forcing the bent bonnet open, we started to discover the extent of the crash damage.
Oh, wow.
Look, Taylor, I don't think you understand. This is a £500 track car.
It is a £1,000 track car.
And the damage didn't end there.
So that is the engine mount.
That's what holds the engine in place.
Now a little worried at what we'd already found, we got the Clio into the unit to properly inspect it.
If you're a businessman, you'd break it. The engine's a few hundred quid, the wheels are a few hundred quid, the interior's a few hundred quid, you're making your money back already. We're not here to make money. We need to go on track.
And to do that, we need a fully functional car again. So it's time to take a look underneath.
Uh-oh, quite rough though.
Do you know what that sounds like to me? Sounds like it's a track car.
I don't see shit.
Oh, well. This exhaust hanger's seen better days.
They don't look so good, so let's hope we don't ever have to touch anything there.
Feeling immediately less confident about our purchase, we moved on to inspecting the gearbox and engine, hoping to find some more positive results.
It's a good bit of gearbox or drain.
Oh, that's nice. Is that from the shaft?
I believe so.
That's nice.
None of these issues were confidence-inspiring, but as this was going to solely be a track car, and it did still have a valid MOT, we weren't overly worried about anything we'd found.
So we got into the real unknowns, tearing the front end apart to discover how much damage had been done in the crash.
Oh, that is a hole in an alternator.
Alternator has been added to the list.
That's a cost for sure. Now, it's looking like we're lucky enough that we got away with not hurting the radiator.
So alternator we definitely need. Radiator we'll have a look, but I think it might be fine. Again, there's going to be people in the comments going, I can't believe the TDC boy reused that radiator.
We're not competitive, but we're also very competitive. Are we going to overlook rebuilding this car properly in aid of making it as fast as possible? Yes. What do you think we're going to do? Come on.
We started to dig deeper by removing the damaged headlight, and what we found was quite concerning.
I think it might have been a hole of access anyway. It's less than ideal.
Yeah, I would agree.
This is all bent, this is all bent. I do think there might be one piece of salvation from opening up here. Obviously, part of our problem is that this engine mount / timing belt cover is cracked and broken. But I don't think that's because anything here is bent.
No, but the chassis hasn't been pushed into the engine.
That part of the chassis hasn't moved that way. The engine has been pushed that way. We just need to unbend everything.
Reparo. Didn't work.
Takes a while.
Takes a while, yeah.
Now with somewhat of an idea as to the extent of the structural damage, we were confident that with some backyard fixes, we'd be able to get it back in working order, starting by bending the front end back into shape, as a small section was rubbing up against our aux belt.
We've done some clearancing. Again, we're not a body shop, but we've clearanced it enough that the belt now runs free, so we can start it up. Now the only thing is we've got obviously this bent, I actually didn't even undo that. That's how it was been the whole time.
We'll take that engine mount off so that nothing's falling into the timing belt, and then we'll see if this thing starts. Sir, your engine mount.
Oh, that looks quite tasty.
All is clear. I think we're clear for a start-up, sir. He's okay. He sounds okay.
Sounds alright.
That
There's
sounds
some
okay.
noises, but I think that's just loose stuff.
It has also been in a front end accident.
It has also been, yeah. It's the next day, and we've come up with a new plan. So we just need to turn the car around.
But it's time to see if it drives.
The engine's only attached in 2 places on one side, but there is always the subframe.
Oh, yeah. You know what, Will? That's a track car.
With the Clio turned around and in position, it was time to reveal the plan on how we'd reshape the damaged chassis.
I'm going to connect a tow strap from that to this and see if we can pull it out. What could possibly go wrong? Now, yes, this would be much better if it was solid, if it was metal. I know we're pulling it with a jack strap. There's no proper way to do this, okay? Calm down.
Also, again, there will be comments going, you don't know the bong scronger knot?
What the hell? You call yourselves mechanics? No. And you don't know how to do a double screeve? What's wrong with you?
What the hell? How do you tie your shoelaces in the morning? I don't. I slip my foot in. Are you going to say it?
It's not going anywhere.
With everything hooked up, we went for our first attempt.
Oh, do it again? Stop. It's just pulling the car.
What we need is to get a piece of chain down behind the actual bar and then pull there. I think there's legs in this.
Taylor found a chain.
I think that's actually one of Alex's bike locks for his motorbike.
One of our body shop locks, right?
Sorry, yeah, my bad. That's why it's protected.
Exactly, yeah.
New, stronger system hooked up, we went for another attempt.
Shall I give it some?
Yeah.
Look at that! Nah, come on. Now
That's essentially what we were looking for.
I'm happy with that.
I'm pretty happy with that.
Also, if you say send it, I can't do much other than do what you asked me to do.
With the majority of the bent section of chassis roughly back into place, we heated it up and did some fine adjustments.
Then I got to work removing the old air conditioning condenser.
And if anybody wants an AC condenser for a Clio 172, check the local scrapyard.
So we need a couple of bits. We are going to go onto a forum any moment now and scavenge, beg, borrow to get some of these bits. But now it's sitting roughly where it is going to sit.
One of the things that we were a little bit worried about is the entirety of the crash happened here. And if you look down here, you can see some fins on the alternator were missing. So we wanted to make sure that the car kind of works. So the way that you can do that is you can check your battery health not turned on, 12.5 volts. Perfect. When the car's running, it will have more voltage than it at standstill. We should be looking for over 14 volts. 14.5 volts. That alternator is completely fine. It's not dying, it's not dead. It looks fine.
One of the things we really want is an induction kit. I'm sure you're going to say that's the best airbox for power. You're probably right. But I've been scraping around and I found some coins, about £1.24.
Oh, okay.
£1.25.
Let's see what we can do with that. I reckon we can do something with
I
that.
think we should be able to do something with this.
Should we jump in the car? Should we head down the road?
Yeah, I think so.
Ooh, just pulling up at the performance parts store here.
That's the one.
Induction kits. There is beans and barbecue sauce. Hoops. We would have to splash out for the hoops.
Let's check the budget. Do you know what? We're going to be all right. Don't spend it all at once.
Right, so some of you may be wondering what we're talking about.
A man called Tom Seddon. Just so you know, a baked bean tin is the perfect dimensions to get a universal cone filter onto the original intake pipework.
He suggested Branson, but we've gone with Heinz hoops. So what we're going to do is we're going to make our way through the hoops and then use this to put a VOD filter on. For £1.45, you can't say fairer than that, really. This is a car part, is it not? This is an intake. So therefore, we're going to use our new parts washer. We got sent this by Motul, who are now one of our sponsors, which is sick. And they said, yo, you like cleaning stuff? And I said, yeah. And they went, get a load of this guy then. And this is, you're allowed to use it with your hands. It's enzymes, not like degreaser and stuff. This is quite literally the greatest machine of all time. I couldn't be more excited by a thing in my life, hence why I'm cleaning out a bean tin.
At that moment, our Heinz Hoops project was interrupted by a call from a Clio breaker who claimed to have the parts we needed for cheap. And it turns out we were in for a treat.
Right, we are at an undisclosed location. We put a post on Facebook. A guy named Matt reached out and said, I've got a load of bits that I need to get rid of.
The thing we have to remember, Will, we are on a budget. We really mustn't get carried away.
No.
Oh, I quite like the idea of having a rally car bumper on it.
We don't really need that.
It's just a blue front wing, quite like that. We don't need it though.
We don't need it.
Knob makes us faster. Now that's quite cool.
There's a rare version of this Clio, it's called a trophy, only 500 of them. It's the only way you could get a capsicum red one. If that's a genuine bumper, crazy.
Well, you appear to be inside of a caravan.
I am also, I feel like teetering on the edge right now. We've got a caravan full of bits.
After getting way too distracted, we got back on track and found some parts we actually needed.
One main part that we need, that we know we need since the beginning, and here one is. Now there's a difference. 172 silver and 182 silver are different. Will, you know this because you put the wrong bonnet in your car. But Matt, 172 silver bonnet. Still don't know how much this is going to run us, but let's take it off and we'll put it in the pile. We'll have a look.
With all of our parts collected, Matt showed us his impressive Clio build. Can you just confirm for our competitors? You have no idea of our channel. You're not giving this. You weren't giving this to us cheap because
I'm not even subscribed.
There you go. And you know
There
what?
we go.
That's the first time I've been pleased to hear that.
That's absolutely wonderful. If more of you could be like that, that's wonderful.
Because
But-
now it proves that these aren't mates rates. This is just we're getting rid of tap.
And we've just paid Matt for £150. This is the majority of what we need, and that is a bonus.
That we'll talk about that in a little bit. Right. Let's go. They're going to be very angry with
Well,
us.
thank you very much, Matt. Cheers. Thank you.
Guys.
Right, we're back from our parts haul, and we thought we should probably explain what we've bought and why we've bought it. And there's probably three groups of things that we have kind of here. Things that we needed to kind of the car to drive again. There are things that we wanted for the track day, and then there's the third group, which is things we absolutely didn't need but just wanted anyway as well. I'd say most things fall into that last category.
Yes.
The actual amount I was just thinking about this. The only thing we need for this car to drive again is that and that. The rest is all extra. For £150, we got a bonnet in our colour, correct silver. 2 rear lights. Didn't need those, but we can get rid of the heinous clear lights at the back. These are the engine mount parts that were sheared from the crash on ours. So these we need to replace those. An inlet manifold. You may see here, we have one already. Will had Clio eyes on. He was looking through, rummaging through, and he went, and it looks like someone's given it a little port and polish.
When we say port and polish, it's a man with a Dremel.
Perhaps he had some cataracts.
Yeah. If it gains us 0.3 of a horsepower,
That's all we could ask for. This is a exhaust manifold. This is a 172, an earlier Renault Sport. The later one's called a 182. Most of that increase comes from this exhaust manifold. Instead of it going 4 straight into 1 at the end, these 2 here go together and then they all go in. If we can swap that on, we can make a little bit more power. This, absolutely no need for this.
No need
It's
at all
just
for that.
It's just a silver shift knob. And then Will, this was your bargaining here. I can't take any credit.
Bilstein coilovers, they've seen better days.
They have. That's kind of the shape that it should be. This one, it's a little bit skewy.
Now, I think we'll be able to fit that to the car, bolt it in place like that, and then maybe start doing some jiggling. But, hey!
With our new parts secured, we got back to the important task of fitting our DIY induction kit.
It's unprofessional to leave it like that. We are professionals. Straight through beam tin. Oh,
He's in.
he's going in. Oh, he's in. Oh, surely Will. Feel the strength on those hoops. Now, we could leave it like that. We've worked on enough shit cars, would you not agree, that we're bound to have a filter laying around. I reckon we can find something so bad that it probably feasibly would be free. Oh, well.
Oh, here we go.
If it isn't the Zafira's old air, I mean, have a look in there, Will. Surely we can agree that would be free.
Now that, you couldn't give that away. Look
Now-
at the state of it.
If we had have gone up there and found a brand new K&N, okay, maybe you could be a little bit upset at the rules, but come on now. Bit of hoops mixed with this. Ooh. Oh, come on. £1.40. Stop, you can get me in trouble. Jesus. Should we do a quick test?
So we'll have a look.
You can't ask for much more from a tin of beans.
Now, we are scavenging for parts in this episode, and that basically means we cannot buy any Febby Bilstein parts. But if we were doing a proper build, that is definitely what we would do. And they are the sponsors of today's video.
Febby have partnered with us for the next year and will be supporting us on all of our builds on the channel.
Now, if you've been following the channel for a while, you will have seen Febby parts featured in some of our favourite builds, from the Cayenne to the E55, the XFR, and even some of our new projects as well.
Febby offers OE matching quality parts, but without the dealer prices, and they're available wherever you tend to buy your car parts from anyway.
Plus, they also have a sister brand called Blueprint, which focuses on Asian makes. Now, we got a load of parts for my old 350Z and Edwin's old Starlet as well. Exactly the same standards, exactly the same quality.
Like I mentioned earlier, Febby parts are widely available wherever you already get your parts from, but they also have a 3-year warranty that covers all of their parts, so you can install them with confidence.
So this is the Febby parts parts finder. This is my favourite part of whenever we get a new project car, because I get to go on here. I put in the number plate for my Range Rover in here, just as an example. And all you know is Range Rover 4.4 TDV8. You can go into the categories. Let's have a look. What suspension bits we've got. We've got bushes, we've got arms, we've got more bushes, more arms, ball joints, absolutely everything. So make sure you check out this link in the description below and see what you can get. We are going to replace this plate. Actually goes down the side of the engine, that's this one here. And then this snapped one, that's what it should look like. Need to whiz it off this old engine mount. Place the lower one, then the top one, and then we're all good.
Unfortunately though, it was looking like that would be harder than expected.
The arm for the alternator sits over the top of the cover. You just need to disconnect the alternator. Will, would you like to explain getting the aux belt off of a Clio 182? What is it akin to, would you say?
Some kind of torture mixed with a Chinese puzzle.
It's doable, but come on, didn't want to have to do it. This is the aux belt tensioner here that puts essentially enough tension on this so that it doesn't fly off. There is a special Renault tool to get this off. However, over the years, people have come up with the ingenious method of this. Ben, what was that?
That is a Jubilee clip.
You put them around the bottom of the tensioner.
I then started tightening the Jubilee clip, which would disengage the tensioner and take the pressure off the belt, which went well.
No! I flew too close to the sun. So if you watch that belt here, as I tighten that up, it should start releasing some tension. See him?
With the tensioner now disengaged, I was able to remove the aux belt and get the alternator out of the way.
Then we were able to get the broken timing cover off, ready to fit the new one.
So, old one out, fine. New one, back in.
So the engine mount is done and our engine is sitting nice and straight, which is exactly what we wanted. While those bits are off, I've disconnected the back of the exhaust manifold where it connects to the engine and then disconnected it there, which I think might have been a mistake because I've got 2 more bolts to disconnect. So in the meantime, I'm going to drain the oil.
Hey, when you can't make progress elsewhere. And the other thing that we've been looking at is that radiator. You've acquired this. A £1 radiator.
£1 it cost.
It was going to go in the bin otherwise?
It was going to go in the bin otherwise.
So,
a man named Harry, he said, I'm chucking this out, you can have it. You might think it's cheating and that, well, you'll just be YouTubers. No. We are merely asking for scraps.
People are trying to get rid of 182 parts, like you wouldn't believe.
Oil draining, I moved on to removing the oil filter, which turned out to have been tightened to around 10,000 Newton meters, and took quite a bit of persuasion to remove.
Right, oil filter is no longer filtering anymore.
Oh, what? We could have used that, Will.
A moment to tell, update on the rules. We have agreed consumables on oil liquids are free. So that means it's fair across the board.
With the oil filter and radiator now sorted, we moved on to swapping out our standard exhaust manifold for the brand new one.
Manifold about to come out. Look how easy it is. It's so easy.
If only there was footage of the last hour and a half we spent trying to get that off.
This is an idiotic design. This bit is right above the subframe, and you have to have 4 people, 9 hands, but it's out, and we are replacing it with our better 182 manifold that we showed you earlier, and then...
Also, we can show this.
This is track keep only. Spoke to K-Tech and they do a pipe that connects a 182 manifold to a standard 172 exhaust, and this is the pipe needed. There was a piece of damage in the cat, so we had to get rid.
That is a crack in the cat to the downpipe, which is not going to have been helping our cause. Oh man, whatever will we do with this cat? Oh, where could it go? You know what, there's a good animal centre called Facebook Marketplace.
Will they trade it for gold coins?
I think exactly that.
Before we finish that though, we needed to finish up the oil service.
And this is a great time to mention that we are now partnered with Motul. So Motul are going to support all of our projects going forwards, going to give us all the fluids we need. It's not just engine oil, transmission oil, brake fluid, everything we need. And the Clio is the first to get it.
It's going to make 1,000 horsepower.
It says it on the tin, 8,100 power.
With the Clio now full of fresh oil, we got to work installing the new exhaust manifold, but quickly realised that to give us enough space to get in, we'd need to drop the subframe down a fair amount, and that would involve dealing with 20-year-old crusty bolts, which love to snap.
It'll happen so fast. What happened, Will?
It all came out.
3 supports on the subframe will do.
With every single bolt being as seized as the last, I got fed up.
I'm going to clutch drop it in. Yep. And...
He's out! What? That's the way to do it.
Bored of dealing with the seized bolts, we decided to bait Robin from Viking Detail into cleaning the Clio's disgustingly dirty wheels for free.
Robin, do not clean that.
Oh, don't say that.
Whatever you do, don't clean that.
Now with freshly cleaned wheels, for free, we got back to the task at hand.
The reason this is such an issue is that there's usually, it's a bit like what happened on the Jaguar, a captive nut at the top. It's not welded to the chassis, but it's locked to it. But now that thing that is locking it has come undone and will just spin. By Jove, I think you've done it. Lovely. Subframe can drop down now. Now we can get our manifold up and in.
In hindsight, we should have bought a decat for the standard exhaust. Probably got 90% of the same gain.
Unfortunately though, even after all of that work, we still didn't have enough space.
That's not going in a million.
Oh, Ben.
It's not fitting in there.
Yeah, we should have just put the decat in.
We're gonna do this! To get the exhaust manifold out on the old one, we had to take the bolts off and pull out the top. To get the exhaust manifold in the new one, we've had to drop the subframe, disconnect the steering rack from the subframe, disconnect the steering coupler, disconnect all of the subframe bolts. We might have to drop the ball joints. This is not worth the power, but we're still telling ourselves if we shave off 0.1 of a second or 0.01 of a second, it's worth it.
Now attempting from beneath, we were still fighting engine components, pipes and wires. But after hours of work on this now seemingly pointless job, the new manifold finally went in.
Now, you can drop that down. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, oh,
Oh, now it's easy, is it?
oh. And there it is. A lot of this did happen off camera, so it might only seem to you like this was not that big of an issue, but none of us have wanted to be in this room.
With the new manifold finally in, we could move on to some more track-focused mods.
Now, despite the fact that we started with a exhaust manifold and went for power, realistically, the most important thing for a track car, tyres, people will tell you the first thing. We're all on the same tyres, so we can't do much there, but brakes and suspension.
Oh, yeah.
Very important. So we have managed, as part of our pile, some used discs and some used pads, but they're very good. Also, the coilover system that we managed to score. So we're going to tear down each side of the front corner, get it all stripped down, which this is a, what is it? Is it a 20-year-old French car?
Yeah.
That's going to come apart nicely, I think.
Yeah. One old disc, the back of that disc, not looking so healthy. The front, there's a bit of a lip, but it's not too bad. But the back,
The back's been blown out of that.
the back has had its absolute back blown out. The pads cost,
£10 new, right?
it's about £10 new, yeah.
Or wait,
Or 210, I think.
210,
yeah.
that was it.
They're very good pads.
But they have been used,
They would have been chucked out.
so their loss is our gain.
Right, one bolt up here.
With Will busy removing the old suspension, I was straightening out the old crash bar.
We need this, and we don't have the budget to buy a new one. I'm going to clean him up and spray him with whatever paint I can find. Perhaps green might be nice. Will, any ideas on colour do you like? Just to go over here.
Yellow.
Yellow? Sure, if I can find some, there'll be some.
Luckily, we did have some yellow paint lying around, so I got to work professionally spraying the crash bar, while Will installed our coilovers.
To fix the bent coilover, I heated it up and then smacked the mounting point back into the correct shape.
Then, with that installed onto the car, it was time to get the new-ish brakes in, mount up our clean wheels, which now had fresh rubber, and then tackle an issue that I'd found with our replacement bonnet.
Now, yes, we're getting cheap parts, but there is a downside of doing that. If you come over and look on this side, we've got the holes where the bonnet mounts. This side is not so good. So I must drill this out. And then, Will, you're doing coilovers, rear coilovers?
Rear coils and change those horrible rear lights.
Thank the Lord. Finally, the lights will leave.
With the bonnet fixed, I finished up getting the coilovers installed, and then it was time to check out the Clio's new fitment.
We've done all right there.
Look at that. Right, shall we move on to the next part and get rid of those? They can go on the memento wall,
They can go on the
and we'll
memento
always
wall.
remember it. Watch your head.
Nasty lights out, proper original lights in. Now at the front of the car, new straight bonnet is on.
Oh,
it's a bit
lovely, but lovely kind of.
Get the feeler gauge out.
Oh, that's a tough one.
But the headlights.
Gave a bit of a polish quickly. I learnt from the best. You taught me how to polish headlights, so I've been doing it lots recently. Would you like to install the Hoops yellow crash bar?
With the freshly painted crash bar in, we were getting so close to this little Clio being track ready.
I want to take the fog lights out because weight and also brake cooling.
Sure.
Maybe?
Why not? Let's do it, and then we'll put the bumper on, and he's back together.
With those final bits done, this crashed old Clio was back to glory as our new budget track car.
Out on the road, we haven't yet blown up or crashed.
There's some rub.
That's fine.
But that's fine.
That's okay. As we've said multiple times, rubbing is racing. And that's what we're going to do with this car. This car is going racing.
I think we need to give it some beans.
Sorry, could you say that correctly?
We need to give it the hoops.
He's got
what?
some
It's
hoops.
all right.
He's got some
Brakes.
hoops.
Oh, the brakes are
Need some more bleedings?
interesting. Perhaps buying brakes for £1 not ideal.
This is proof that for a sub £1,000 you can build something. Not saying it's the greatest track car on earth, but you and your mates can buy something that's gonna go in the bin otherwise, get a Cayenne and a tow chain and, you know, give it one for me, and back on the road it goes.
So there you go. £1,000 track car, under budget, it's road legal. There'll be another video on track where we go against the guys from Auto Alex in their TT. That'll be on their channel. You can see where we rebuilt another French car, my Megane RS here, and we'll see you next week.